Robotics was at TechCrunch. So this is a cool little article, and then we're going to look at the video in a moment. So Mitch, the CEO, was saying his mum and dad had businesses doing. His mum had a sign company every weekend and weeknights during the week. He was installing neon signs as a kid, welding up frames, digging trenches, electrical, everything. And that was the basically in his formative years. That's what was the inspiration for this startup. So they've pitched on the starter battlefield at TechCrunch Disrupt, and it's a combination of hardware and software. And if you haven't checked out my other videos on Robotics, then you can. Just some details which you may already know. They've got a letter of interest for 30 million from Mesa Robotics, big win at an early stage. They also raised a big amount recently, 4.7 million was the raise, and they've got 6.1 million, which I didn't know, in Series A funding, led by Joe Rodriguez from Pancho Ryan, which I would assume is a VC or a family office of some sort. So they've raised over $10 million for such a small company that's only been live 9 months. That's amazing. Beyond Miso, they've also got recurring revenue. It says 200K a month here, but I think the actual amount is 400, and that's robots as a service, which is something I mentioned actually in one of the first investor calls that I suggested what was the model on a robots as a service could be a model that they could follow, and that's indeed what they're doing. So beyond flipping burgers and restaurant chains, etc., they're also targeting construction workers, including a roofer has got in touch, and also an automated boba tea bar, Bobacino, I believe that's in America somewhere, and also this ornament company, a factory that does painting of Christmas ornaments. Anyway, what I'm super excited about is this video. So I'm going to watch this on YouTube. If you were lucky enough to be in California right now, you could have been to this event. I'm not in California, so let's see.
Please welcome TechCrunch Managing Editor, Matt Burns.
What a morning! And this is the best part. Serena Williams, Kevin Hart, and now Startup Battlefield. Thank you all for being here. I'm excited. I hope you were here yesterday. If you weren't, I want to bring you up to speed. We had robots. We had implantable heart monitors. We had AI-generated content for ad copy. We had smart, quick flashcard makers for students. It was wonderful. And we're going to have more of the same today.
Sorry, folks. One sec. Don't know what is going on here.
I want to review the rules.
Technical problems. There we go.
The companies have 6 minutes to present, and they're going to get 6 minutes of questions and answers. You, the audience, I need you to bring the energy. These startup founders have worked so hard over the last 6 weeks to provide. Number one, as I read their bios, we have Jameson Hill. Jameson Hill.
So we're going to skip to we're actually going to skip to
consumer and enterprise purpose.
Ali's section.
The last two.
Here we go.
Come on out to a new round of judges. But let's get this round started. First up, from Bellevue, Washington, we have Ally Robotics. Presenting for Ally Robotics is Mitch Tolson and Jennifer Christensen. Come on out.
I was a laborer. Everything I know about the future robotics comes from my days working on the manufacturing line and the job site. I think about how I learned how to lay brick, wire electrical, and frame a house. People showed me how, and we used the right tool for the right job. I've worked on robotics projects for over 20 years, and I've repeatedly asked, why can't robots learn the same way? Why are they so expensive and difficult to train? So why is this important now? There is a labor crisis in the US across.
This is really important. Like, the mission of Ally Robotics is embodied in this deck and in this presentation, so make sure to keep watching.
The construction, agriculture, restaurant, and manufacturing industries having a $1 trillion negative impact on the US economy. So what do? Robotic innovation has focused on factory automation that doesn't translate well to everyday automation. These industrial robots have big external control boxes with difficult to manufacture strain wave gears, and legacy PLCs, limiting where robots need to go in the future. These robots are also focusing on costly, extreme precision. Let's say I want to cook French fries or install solar panels. I don't need plus or minus 0.01 millimeters of repeatability when 1 millimeter is good enough. We must create the right tool for the right job. Introducing the Ally Arm. With a combination of machine vision, imitation learning, AI, and hardware innovation, we can significantly expand the market for robotic technology and everyday automation. So how do we do this? We've opted for proven planetary gears that are 97% efficient and 20% the cost of strainwave gears.
Nice.
We've removed the external control box, and you can power the Ally Arm from a standard 110 AC outlet, or for those in mobile applications, natively 48-volt DC. We've developed a novel joint that allows us to put more electronics into the base, improve wire routing, and mechanically couple joints 1 and 2 for smooth motion, double the torque at no velocity loss. We've even invented a quick change actuator. Now, anyone will be able to service the robot, just like replacing the batteries in your flashlight. We even use something called the endoskeleton-based design. So think of a human arm. You have your skeletal structure, you have skins. Just the same, we have robotic skins that can be adapted to the application requirements. So whether your scenario is clean food automation or pulling recyclables from a landfill, we have the skin for you. The opportunities are endless. The most challenging aspect of robots today.
That's the really interesting thing here. The applications are endless. Like, this is really important because it's not just quick service industry. Clean food environments, of course, rugged environments. It can be on a construction site. It could be on, look at what they've got here. This looks like it's a landfill site. It could be a demolition site. It could be an environmental site. It could be a scientific site. It could be all sorts of applications, factories, manufacturing, logistics, pick and play, pick and move, lift, carry, sort. There's all sorts of applications for the Ally Arm.
Pulling recyclables from a landfill. We have the skin for you. The opportunities are endless. The most challenging aspect of robots today is they take hundreds of thousands of dollars to program and train by experienced professionals, greatly limiting automation for everyone. Until now. The Ally Arm is both smart and simple. What you're seeing here is just the beginning of translating human gestures into robotic motion.
It's amazing. Look at that, it's moving exactly the same time. It's so cool. And they've only been going 9 months. That's the thing. Imagine what they're going to be like in like 2 years. I think this is so cool. Like the coding.
We even have control over the end effector and other devices connected to the arm. I started the company 9 months ago.
9 months.
And what you're seeing here is 3 months of our effort.
3 months of effort. Incredible.
Done, even my 5-year-old will be able to program the robot by showing it, and the robot will then repeat that task.
So fascinating.
There it goes. So this is what we call a micro behavior, and you can create a bunch of these. Grabbing cups, grinding, sanding something, and then you can repeat that. The Ally, can I go to slides? The Ally Arm is the first robotic arm designed from the ground up with AI and learning at the core. We are collaborating with NVIDIA to adopt the Isaac platform for edge compute, AI, and simulation to accelerate our development and provide the best development tools, not just for developers, but anyone. We also have customers. We have a $30 million letter of intent with Misa Robotics, and we have $400,000 a month in monthly services from Bovacino, Ryco, and others. The Ally arm is the smartest, most affordable, easy to service, and simple to train robotic arm. And together, we're enabling robotics for anyone, anywhere. Thank you.
Mitch, that was wonderful. 9 months and we're here?
Yes.
That's great. All right. Well, Dave, let's start with you.
Amazing.
Yeah, sure. Prior to my time at Google Ventures, I was at a company called Kiva Systems, automated warehouses with robots, and have spent a bunch of time thinking about sort of the balance of specialization with robotics and being more flexible. It seems like you've erred towards being more flexible, able to be trained by humans.
Yes.
Does that change the way that you go to market with a company? So if a company is really excited about purchasing your robots, working with your robots, don't they require some sort of specialization, integration, specific training for their workflows? And how do you think about the balance between specialization and more general approaches?
Well, I'll start and then add on to me. So I do not have any programming background. I have an engineering background, but skip the programming side. I train it via right now sign language, right? It's a step to where we show the robot what we want it to do. So down the road, we would take the arm and I would just pick up the brick and move it, and it would do that. So as we go into any type of workflow situation, it would be similar. If someone needed something different, of course, we'll work with a customization piece to that. But otherwise, it will really be as simple as showing it what you want it to do. You want it to grab from that shelf and move it over there. You want to move it from that bin to that bin. You don't need a technical background to be able to do that. So it's part of the anyone, anywhere, concept.
And just given that, just given that it's generalizable, are you finding that often the applications are similar to what a human would be doing? Is that the alternative?
Absolutely, right? I mean, so when we look at cooking French fries, for example, if I'm standing in a quick service restaurant, I'm having to grab the basket probably with 2 hands. I have to shake it, I'm around the oil, I have to make sure I'm hitting the timer, helping people doing these other things. A robot does that so much better and can do it consistent, and my background's in ergonomics, so you don't have to sit there and do that. The robot can do that. I can focus on managing the process, helping people, and doing what we're better at as humans.
Cool, thank you.
I did French fries at Wendy's, and I was pretty good at it. Jameson, let's go to you.
Yeah, thank you. Remarkable for 3 months of effort. I'm curious, with the sort of initial customer set that you're talking to, can you speak a little bit about implementation? And I'm particularly curious about time to value, and then also how much behavior change is required on the part of the customer.
So first, before I started Ally Robotics, I wrote a white paper on why robot companies fail. The key thing there is I saw in my research showed a lot of companies don't focus on the customer. That's right. So that's how we started. We first found the customers, deeply understood their problems that they want to go solve. And then we've taken those sort of, here's what market and industry technology is not doing, and here's how we can go about solving those. So when we look at food automation, this is where we're starting.
Only 3 months.
What are the intrinsic things within this environment, and how do we develop an architecture that scales beyond food automation when we're solving for food automation initially? So as an example, our endoskeleton design with the shells, in clean food automation, you need NSF 169 certified skins, but that's going to be a little bit more expensive for that type of skin, right? But if I'm putting this arm in some other environment that doesn't need IP65, I pay for that. And so that's kind of the little bit of the integration effort that we're doing.
Terrific, thank you.
Hello?
Yep. Great work, super impressive. You're not the first ones to try and crack this nut. Think of Rodney Brooks, phenomenal roboticist out of MIT, founded iRobot. His next company was Heartland Robotics, right? And that was a multi-purpose robot that was meant to work alongside people and easy to train. Very similar. Could you just talk a little bit about how you feel you're solving this problem in a different way that's going to be successful?
I'll build on what I said just before. It really starts with our initial set of customers and designing to that first that allows us to solve their need immediately, bring in revenue, and then integrate and implement to solve their their issues and their challenges incrementally. So it's things like, we're not trying to tackle all the problems all at once. For example, with Misa Robotics, they have an opportunity, a new client of theirs might come in and say, hey, I want to cook a different style of French fries, right? They need a different dwell time and I need a different behavior. So it's then we focus then on the problem of how do we help them speed up the training of that behavior with visual training? And then it's a discrete problem to solve. And then over time, these solved discrete problems amalgamate into a larger set that's more agnostic.
Great, thank you.
Charles, that's great.
Can you talk a little bit about?
I wonder in the future if they'd have like a marketplace where people can buy behaviors. Maybe not. Maybe they want it to be it's like a robot for anybody, and anybody can do it. But I imagine over time there could be a library. Maybe it's like the Buffalo Wild Wings model where like cook wings, and that means when they roll out to another Buffalo Wild Wings, it's already inbuilt in their kind of software stroke hardware behavior library, and then a new Buffalo Wild Wings or a new McDonald's or a new whatever can just kind of select that kind of use case, if you like, or if it's a roofer, another roofer can I wonder if it would learn that way. That could be really interesting.
Cost profile and the payback period for your customers, how they think about ROI.
So this is Charles. He's asking for the customers. What's the payback time for the customer? I assume there'll be a follow-up question for the payback time for Ally Robotics as well.
Sure. So we have not set pricing yet. That will come as we move towards manufacturing and have that. But we have kind of two paths for customers right now that we're envisioning. One where they could purchase the arm or arms, multiple outright, or they could do robots as a service, and we work with them on monthly, yearly, whatever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
The return period, part of our pitch is that it's affordable. So that's a big piece of what we'll be trying to drive home and competitive with our customers. But as we move forward, we will also we'll have a return period, but the money that we get net is all going to flow right back into Ally because we want to be able to scale and grow and go faster. So
it's a good question. I think they're moving so fast. I mean, just to get to this point is incredible, really. Like within a 3-month period, they've just raised like 10 million. It looks like from the most recent round. It's good they've got that 2-option plan that people can buy the robots outright or have an affordable robots as a service model. I think they will need to get to a kind of return model soon, i.e., if you buy this, with those models of payment, like to have illustrative examples for businesses, if you're, like the restaurants model is quite clear. And I think Misa Robotics have got good commercials so that if they speak to a restaurant, it's like a copy and paste job, or they can just have on their website, this is the payback period for your, for a typical restaurant. Ally could do the same. This is the payback period for the typical roofer. This is the payback period for the typical construction company or whatever. Obviously, the use cases are much, there are many more use cases. So it's going to be slightly harder for Ally because it's going to be like a long tail of use cases. So I think that's going to be harder for them, but maybe, I'm excited about that. And it's still early days, but it's good that they've made so much progress already. Let's see what else they say.
Thank you very much. That ends our time with your company.
Okay. Great. All right. One second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So I think that was a really good illustration of how far Ally Robotics has actually come. If you think about it, within 3 months, they've raised, it looks like 10 million. And they've got an arm that you can train already using sign language. And you never know, in 3 to 6 months, it might be the computer vision is so strong that you won't need as sophisticated sign language. But even this sign language looks pretty good. And I think people might be interested in this as it is already. But the overall vision that anybody will be able to use this is a very strong one. So that's, I made this video quick and short, but because I wanted to show you for the people that couldn't go to California today, I wanted to share this and amplify this message. I do think Ally has a really good chance of doing this. It'd be kind of interesting to see about Heartland. I'm gonna have a quick Google. It sounds like the founder of the iRobot, who was also on the a famous podcast. I can't remember that chap's podcast recently, I believe. Heartland Automation comes up. I don't know if that's related. Anyway, that's a story for another day. I'm not going to go into that. I do think just because one company has failed, i.e. there were companies that have tried electric cars, I assume, in the past. What was that car that inventor that invented that really small car? Was it Sinclair? Sinclair cars? Can't remember. Anyway, he had an electric car vehicle decades ago. Didn't work. And then Tesla comes along and it's worked a lot and it's revolutionized the industry. Maybe Ally is that person, that company to just because there's people that have failed in the past, it feels like Ally's on a really strong mission and they've got a good vision, they've got good people, they're raising capital. I think they've got a good chance of going to market strongly and generating revenue and doing well. And they've got the backing of Misa Robotics. They're very strong business people. So guys, I hope you enjoy these videos. If you do, check out the other videos that are going to appear shortly about robotics, investing in startups and whatnot. Remember, if you want to invest in my channel, the best way to do that is to smash the like button, make it go blue, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon button so you get notified about my next upcoming videos and you don't miss any cool new startups that are raising capital or updates from existing companies. All right, take care, guys.